special welcome, a very special in case you missed it, live from Woodlands campsite at Silverstone on the British Grand Prix weekend. Oh, glorious. Do you know what? 60 days of uninterrupted sunshine, and this is what we've got today. But look at these guys. They are the epitome of British fans. They'd come out in any weather. Thank you. It's lovely to have you joining us. It's also lovely to have these fellas with us. The brilliant Sam Lowes. And, of course, Colin Edwards, our Texas tornado. Wow, we've had a deluge, a storm, a tornado almost. It does now seem to be drying up, and I can see a bit of sunshine coming out. Thank you very much. That's because you've turned up.
Yeah, I brought it with me.
Well done. Nice work. How great is it though, for you to be Home Grand Prix Silverstone? What are the crowds like?
Yeah, it's amazing. Again, today, free practice 1 and 2, seeing all the fans there after the sessions and all the people here. It's, you know, people say it gives you something extra, and it definitely does.
Yeah, it really does make you go faster, doesn't it? And Colin, you went pretty fast. It was a long time ago they were on the podium, but 2011, you were there. Describe it to us.
Oh, let's see. You said almost a tornado was here. I thought it was here. Anyways, long story short. So 2011, yeah, broke collarbone a week before that, and yes, we survived. Here we go. Yeah, it wasn't that much fun qualifying, but luckily for me, it rained, and we got on the podium, got third. That was my last time on the box here.
Were you there? They were great days, but you know that's where you want to be, isn't it? Back on the podium, Sam.
Oh yeah, it's we need to do it. We need something to turn the season around, and you know, with this support and these people here, I really believe that we can do it this weekend. And yeah, really good feelings today. So with the feelings today and these guys, you know, we have to get it done on Sunday.
Actually, get those tents off those laps. We're all over the place here at Silverstone all weekend. We're live for every single lap. Gav and Neil, of course, are somewhere. I've lost them. No idea where they could be. You, any idea?
Talking of all over the place, Susie, yeah, there's a few people around here, a few wrong uns around, because while you're all dry up there on stage, in the limelight, we're down here with the real fans in the cheap seats. We're having a good time down here, aren't we? Yeah. This is, of course, the Woodlands campsite. 10,000 people camping here over the weekend, and fair play to them all in this, because it's still chucking it down, isn't it?
No, but these are clever people. We have got the best spot here at Silverstone. I've looked around, I've worked out, I've counted. There's 10 places you can buy a beer within 100 metres of where we're standing. We stood next to this amazing-looking pub, which is, I think it's an old cowshed.
Yeah, and it absolutely looks superb. Right, come inside. This is the petrol head. And as you can imagine, on an evening like this, here we go. Here he is. Sorry about that. It's a bit lively down here, as you might imagine. We're coming down to the bar. Look at this, great atmosphere down here. And look at who you find at the bar but our favourite, Hervé Poncherel, team manager for Tech 3 Yamaha. Hervé, what are you doing out here?
I'm having a beer.
That's what I like to hear that.
I didn't think you drink beer. Well, you'd be on the Chateau Neuf de Pape, you know, a bit of French red wine.
You must remember that I've been living in England for 2 years.
Yeah, very true.
And I've learned, you know, the proper way, which is have a beer in the evening.
You brought the weather with you as well. It's been tough, hasn't it?
I've been asked not to talk about the weather,
okay.
So, you know.
So are you buying? Who's buying the beers? That's what I need to know. I've got no money on me.
You never have any money, Neil. That's the story of your life. But anyway, I have had enough beer for the moment, so don't worry. Nobody's got to pay for the moment.
Right, Hervé, well, it's great to see you in here. We're going to take some shelter for the time being because drinks are on Hodgie, everyone! Yay!
Yeah, run, Forrest, run. We've tried that so many times before, it never works. Great, the boys are down in the pub, which you can see just over my shoulder down there. When they come out, hopefully they'll bring all the crowd down as well. Sam, let's talk about Moto2 a little bit, though. We know you're moving back to Brasini next year.
Yeah, for me, 2016 was a good season with some wins and podiums, so for next year, there's a lot of changes in Moto2, so it'll be good to go back with a solid team that have a lot of experience, and yeah, so a lot of changes. Hopefully we can take advantage of them.
And how did you feel on track today? Obviously it's been newly resurfaced, but we believe it's still very bumpy out there.
It's quite bumpy, but it's not too bad. I like the new helmet's looking good. It's the first time I've seen it on shot.
It does. That's your RAF 100-year celebration helmet, isn't it?
Yeah. No, for me today on track I felt quite good. In the dry we was real strong. in the rain, the grip was actually really good. Honestly, it was better than it was in the previous year, so that was important because Sunday could be a little bit damp. But tomorrow should be dry, and I really, last 2 races in Moto2, I've been on pole position, so we need to make it 3 in a row.
It would be good. And what kind of position would you be happy with this weekend?
For me, honestly, I know it sounds a big thing to say given the fact the season's not been fantastic, but I know that we can win on Sunday, and that'll be everything I go for.
Now, you heard it here first. We want you to turn pundit now for a second because we want to see a bit of action from on track today with the MotoGP boys. And talk us through this. This was extraordinary this morning for Marc Marquez. We're used to him trying to save things, but Sam, this was ridiculous.
Yeah, the incredible thing about this is if the grass wasn't there, he would have saved it. And, you know, I honestly, I'm a bit of a loss of words to know he does it so much.
Yeah, and like right here, it's like, you know what? Screw, I'm like, you know, get out of here.
Yeah,
it's nice.
I've let go already. But he's still trying and moving with his knee, and it's so impressive. He's got that reflex and that. He's done it so many times now. It's something he has in his pocket. You know, he feels like he can save him, and that must give him so much confidence.
Well, it was extraordinary. You see the black line being laid down, as you'd expect, but you also got orange line, not from his sliders, but from his leathers, I think. He was so low down on that.
It's so good how every time he really, until the very, very, very last second, he thinks he can save it, and that's good to see.
You can't get much grip on the grass with those Michelin tyres, can you?
No, he actually blamed it on the grass there this afternoon. He's like, oh, the grass has arrived, so I crashed. Yeah. he still thought he had it.
But back to the 2 practice sessions, it came out after free practice 2. Andrea Dovizioso was quickest, and of course he was the man who won here last year.
Yeah, he was quick. I mean, today he just didn't put a foot wrong, and he actually did quite a number of laps. And he's the fastest guy here. Today, as far as being dry, you got to get in that top 10. These guys all know it. Ian Onias we're looking at went well today as well. And then this guy, Mr. Crutchlow, Mr. Cal Crutchlow. Second, 5,000 slower than Dovizioso. Put a good run in today. He's going to be hard to beat this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be talking about the Ducatis and the Hondas here, haven't we? And really, but it's an interesting story between Dovizioso and Lorenzo, because Lorenzo's won all the races Dovizioso won last year. Andrea's got a point to prove. But how do you see it going?
I think today Dovi was a lot stronger than Lorenzo. But I don't know. In Austria, I would have put money on Dovi winning, and Lorenzo rode amazing. So I kind of don't want to predict Sunday now after that. But I think Dovi will come here with a point to prove, and I think on Sunday you can't count Cal out.
That's the really great thing about MotoGP. He's probably one of 6 riders that can win it out there, isn't it? The Yamahas are back up there as well this weekend too.
I mean, I think it's a long time since they've won now, isn't it? The biggest thing. So Vinales looked real good. He won it on Suzuki, and this morning was in a good rhythm. So we'll see.
Well, we wish you all the best this weekend, Sam. It's been great to talk to you. Thank you. Let's hear now from the main contenders for MotoGP.
Tell us about this morning's slide. Almost a world record for the world's longest save. It just got away from you at the end. Pretty special again.
Yeah, it was a long one. Unfortunately, it was the grass there, the natural grass. Normally, we don't have grass in the other circuits, so maybe I was able to come back, but you know, it was just a small mistake. I tried to save. It was nice for the fans.
Dovi, we've had lots thrown at you today, the temperatures, the track conditions as well, but top of the timesheets, it's looked good for you. How's it been?
Yes, the condition was very difficult for everybody, about the bump and about temperature, like always here, and a lot of wind. So it was very difficult to ride the bike, but at the end our bike worked well, our speed was good.
Cal, fantastic day one, almost quick as there's hardly anything between you two at the top. Tell us how it's gone day one.
Yeah, I don't think superb, to be honest. So, but that's me being a racer and wanting to improve. Obviously, I'm happy to the position I'm in, but I'm not fantastically happy with the bike and the way I feel on the bike. I've got 2 completely different bikes at the moment. One Silverstone bike and one bike that I've been racing in the last couple of races.
Ladies and gentlemen, look who's joined us. It's Bradley Smith. Difficult to know which way to look, really, Brad, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, thanks, guys. just throw that one out there.
Just like, wrapped up here.
I've never heard that one before. Good job. No, it's good to be here, and yeah, shame about this weather, but yeah, no one seems to be spirits aren't dampened, you know.
Exactly. And this is the thing about British fans, isn't it?
That's it. And you know that's you know why this weekend is is a little bit emotional in terms of you know, the fact that it could be your last British GP. So you know.
No.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't want it to be, but I'm certainly savouring everything, and it was nice to be out there today, and I'm sure it's going to be good to be out there the next couple of days as well.
Okay, well, talk us through today. We heard Andrea saying it was difficult riding out there. How was it for you?
This was early on in FP1. I tried to lead practice just to make myself feel fast. But yeah, I mean, I just, yeah, the track is quite bumpy, I have to admit. You know, the surface is, yeah, not got a lot better in terms of the bumps, but at least the grip is consistent throughout. Looking at Moto2, it looked quite good in the wet. You know, it seemed to have good grip. Everyone seemed to be getting a feel for it. So if this rain does stay around, we're going to be okay. We're a lot closer than what I imagined. Last year I seemed to struggle quite a lot here, but 1.5 seconds is okay.
Yeah,
you know, it's where we are. 1.2, 1.3 on normal tracks. This one's a little bit longer, 1.5. So it was, yeah, tick the box, and it's a good day for KTM.
Yeah, no, honestly, I was looking at it. Y'all were close, and the bike actually looked okay. What's the setting? You feel like motor or what? Give me just something that's going to make it better. Setting, say setting.
It's always setting. It is always setting because we're all on the same tires.
Yeah.
It seems that in some of these corners where, like, for example, like the double apexes, that's where we seem to struggle a little bit, because we struggle to turn on gas, which obviously is crucial in those areas. And also our electronics at the moment are a little bit sensitive with lean angle. So, like, sometimes I have to keep it over because my bike doesn't turn, but then I don't accelerate because I'm not on the fat part of the tyre. You know, so it's that combination at the moment, and you're almost riding a little bit, you know, handcuffed. In the brakes, I feel good. In the fast stuff, I feel okay. So, yeah, just work on that for tomorrow and
See how you go. Bradley, you can stay with us for a few more minutes, can't you?
Of course, yeah.
Because I want to send him off.
Okay,
because
great.
The thing is, he thinks that he's actually British these days. You know what he's like?
No.
He put this tweet out. Have a look at this tweet that he put out. Look at his finger. It's got the old pinky out there. So, Brad, what we thought we'd do is, because we're at Silverstone, it doesn't get any more British as this. Colin, if you can go out around the campsite and find yourself anything that's very typically British. You've already had a pie, and we want you to do your British accent. Say something in British.
All right, matey.
I don't know what accent that was, but off you go. Thank you very much. We'll come back. We'll have more from Bradley, and we'll find out just how British he can be.
Right, well, I thought I'd give you a little bit of a behind the scenes, what goes on. It's Thursday, and what we normally do, me and Gav, we get all the hard work. We go around and interview the riders. Sam's about to interview Marc Marquez, second place last time out. I know he's slightly concerned about the weather, as most riders are, and the forecast doesn't look great. It looks like it's going to get quite cool.
I mean, here in Silverstone, about the weather, okay, one thing is the forecast, but then you never know. Sometimes it's cloudy, sometimes can rain a little bit, but we will try to be competitive from FP1, try to check how is the new surface. Yeah, I hope to be competitive from the beginning. I mean, this year we have a good base. We are more or less fast in every conditions, in all the tracks, and this is important. But our two bikes, that especially Ducati bikes, that are very fast also in all conditions, are very fast in all the tracks, and they will be fast again here because they won last year with Dobby. And about Yamaha, you never know, but of course they will be there.
Welcome home, Cal. What about coming home? What's so special about it for you?
I love the fans coming, I love the track. But I've just sometimes gone great here, sometimes gone bad here.
Because it's hard to pick a favourite here this weekend, so you put yourself in amongst the favourites?
100%, yeah. But the way I'm riding, the way the team's working, yeah, definitely. But I'm concerned for the weather, because our bike in the moment is not superb in the rain. So I'm not concerned to race in the rain. Of course, I'll give 100% and still try and win. There's no doubt about that. But in the dry, I think we had a very, very, very good chance this weekend.
Cal, all the best for the weekend. Let's hope it is, as you say, a big British Grand Prix for you. Cheers, mate.
Thanks.
Thank you. Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry to interrupt here, but we do have a MotoGP fan from outer space. This is, of course, Drew Fustel, NASA astronaut and Expedition 56 commander, currently on the International Space Station. He went into space on March the 21st. Next question from Cal Crutchlow.
Hey Drew, nice to speak to you again. Do you know what every single cable there does?
Well, Cal, you probably imagined that would take a long time, but hey, I do want to say hi to you. You know I'm a big fan of you and the team and Lucio, and I appreciate the time that we spent together chatting, and I think the season's going well, and it's great to see you competing at the top of the pack, so keep up the good work. But great question, Cal. I guess you could say that on the space station we know a little about a lot instead of maybe a lot about a little.
Thanks, Cal, for the curveball there.
I'm very happy to come in Silverstone because I like very much this track because, like you said, have a lot of history behind, and we see because last year was a very good weekend. I was strong and it was a good race, but also last year was always hot and sunny. That is a miracle. No, no miracle, but it's not very often happen. And we will see. We will see during the weekend if we are able to be stronger.
All the best. Thank you, Vale.
Thanks a lot.
Grazie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome back to In Case You Missed It, live from Woodlands campsite in Silverstone with our delightful crowd who have been serenading Bradley Smith about his glorious socks. And as you can see, we're joined now also by Michael Laverty is here. We're going to speak to Michael in a moment, but just before the break, I challenged Colin to be as British as he could. I can't wait to find out what he's doing.
So, Susie, we've made our way from one pub to another, obviously. We're making most of being down here at the Woodlands campsite. Hodgie, stay away from that. We know it only takes that much and you will be on the floor. But this is the craft beer tent. So, we have our resident barkeep. Here he is.
Hey, mate, you want a beer?
Was that the Artful Dodger? What on earth, Colin, is that?
So, I want to know, tell us about your wares, barkeep.
We got Goshawk, Loosehead. This one, Night Vision. That's the best one. Come on.
Is that hoppy?
Is it like Tito's? Is vodka? Is that hoppy?
It's definitely not like the vodka we get over in Texas. Right, I'll have a pint of that. I want you to pour it properly, though.
Proper English. That might be tough.
Come on, give it a go.
Hold, please.
Yeah, okay. So this is a big test, of course, for Colin, who is an expert in all things alcoholic.
I'll tell you what.
As we found out through his career.
Gav, I don't think he's got a clue what he's doing. What do you think? Look at that. Look at that head. It's pathetic. What on earth is that?
It's got some head on it. That's how it's supposed to be.
Is that a cola? Where's the head? Steady on. Oh, steady on. It's not. Oh, no, this is, I can't believe it. He's going to be on the floor any second. Here he goes. Right, so I'm probably going to be doing the rest of these pieces around it. Was it a well-pulled pint?
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
There's going to be a lot wrong with you in a few moments' time. Have you had a go on the night vision?
I'm about to.
We were going to have a taste, weren't we? But thanks to Hodgie, there's none left. But I'll tell you what, Colin's doing a good job down here. So keep it going. Another one, please.
I'm going to predict what happens from the rest of the programme, right? First of all, has Neil Hodgson gone up in your estimations? You can say that now, but if he has one more pint, he literally won't be able to speak. So Gavin will be doing the rest of the show. I'm joined, as you can see, by Michael Laverty and by Bradley. Brad, you talked there about this may be your last British Grand Prix. Get your socks off for the lads. That's what they're singing there. Not what they normally sing, I can tell you. What can you tell us about what's on the table for you for next year?
Oh, they're going crazy back here. Well, at the end of the day, in Austria, we had a chat, you know, me and KTM about how we see the future progressing and what's the best, you know, plans for me and them. They made the decision on Friday that they didn't really want to have their test rider, compete in any wildcards, and that just doesn't interest me. I want to be still racing. This morning I was, 12th, this afternoon 17th. I'm within 1.5 seconds of the fastest guy, so I still want to race. I still want to be involved, yeah, so that doesn't work for KTM, but there's still, some options there. Yamaha have shown interest over the last couple of months, and Aprilia have shown recent interest as well in putting a program together. And I just need to see which way's the best one for me to go. I still want to be here. Moto E is also interesting, for 5 races a year. So yeah, we'll see how it all goes. But I hope to be, at worst case scenario, at 5 MotoGPs next year on track. So yeah, let's see if that happens.
Well, we don't want you to be out of this paddock, so we wish you the best of luck, and we know you're going to let us know as soon as you know what you're up to. Thanks, Brad, and Michael Laverty joining us for this mayhem of a show. Want to talk a little bit about Moto3 and John McPhee, because obviously he, like Bradley, was looking forward to this weekend, and it really hasn't started very well for the wee man, has it?
Not at all. I spoke to John this afternoon, so this morning we were out, done 3 laps, got a false neutral through the Maggots-Beckett's complex. This impact, so he said he rolled, then here when he hit the back of his head the second time, he actually threw up in his helmet. So he said that impact that just made him physically sick. So he's feeling a bit second hand, but he'll bounce back tomorrow. So the boys rebuilt the bike in the afternoon. There was a bit of an intermittent cut, and he didn't get many laps over the first half of the session. Got back out again late on, but he's really behind the 8 ball for the home round when he's been so strong all season. The last 5-6 rounds, he's always been top 5, so not the way he wanted to start his home race.
Yeah, if anyone can bounce back, though, it's John McPhee, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you just have to look at in Spielberg, last time out, the guy had all the bad luck in qualifying, starting from more or less back of the grid, and, was fighting for P7 into the last corner. So, yeah, John's going to be there, you can guarantee it. He'll find something tomorrow in qualifying. And, yeah, if he's not feeling, too good today, then tomorrow it's going to be a bit better, and come Sunday, he'll be flying. Especially if it rains as well, we can count on John for always a good result.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think you'll join me in thanking Bradley and wishing him all the best for the future, and, of course, for this weekend. Thank you very much. And earlier, on a sunny day in Silverstone earlier in the year, Cal Crutchlow went round after the place had been resurfaced, and he found himself with a very, very cuddly backpack.
We're here at Silverstone. I've been told I'm going to have a lap of the track. Now, I'm just used to pootling around at home, so I can't wait. Properly looking forward to this one. Should be a goodie on the old Fireblade.
You're on the back, sorry mate.
You what?
I said get on, Gav. I'll show you what it's about.
I don't fancy this.
You got no choice.
Oh dear. Oh God.
You ready?
No. Oh dear.
How you feeling, Gav?
What is he doing to me? Oh, front a little bit wobbly. What's that?
Oh, there's the drone for you there, Gav.
Oh, I'm probably a little bit heavy on that braking. Been so lovely. This is the one I'm not looking forward to now.
I have to tell you, mate, you're not a bad passenger. Not that you can hear me, probably crying.
Here we go. This is going to be fast through here. Oh, Jesus. Oh.
It's only 120 mile an hour through there, mate.
Oh, they do it. What's the industrial pit straight, that one? Into Cops. I'm exhausted, we've not even done half the circuit yet.
A bit wide there. Must be the extra weight on the back. Nice surface, eh, Gav? I've tasted it enough.
Oh, Jesus.
Are you getting tired back there? Because you're leaning on me more and more.
Hard work. This chapel, yeah, thanks for that, running through on the inside.
Right, let's see what we can get.
The hanger straight, getting some proper pace going. Oh, here he is, he's giving it some, all the beans.
158 mile an hour.
Oh, when you're on it, you never realise.
Oh, we're not stopping.
You never realise just how much they're giving it some. Oh, a little wheelie coming out of Stowe. towards this section of Vale. I'm off the seat. I'm off the seat. Oh. Have you opened your eyes yet? What's that Bullet Man helmet you're wearing anyway? Through club. Onto the international straight past the wing. Of course he's going for a wheelie. Of course he is. Oh, dear me. Oh, that's a weight off my shoulders. You cheeky git. Cheers, mate. That's absolutely...
How was it?
I was knackered by turn 2. I'm alright, that was good. Good fun. Although I was slipping around a little bit.
Yeah, that's just your weight, mate.
Yeah.
You did well, Gov.
Totally appreciate that. I'll get this off eventually, you know. Just seeing that again now is making me want to go back to the pub. But once you've been to the pub, obviously, you have to have some food on the stagger home, of course, when you're in Britain. So, of course, we've come to the fish and chip tent. And it's quite unique, isn't it, how we go about this one?
Yeah, I'm interested. I mean, for me, Colin failed the beer pouring test.
Really?
Yeah.
It didn't look like it.
You drank it?
The beer was good. The beer was really good. Your pouring ability was terrible. I'm going to score you 2 out of 10. Now it's about fish and chips. So here we're having fish and chips. I want to see you order fish and chips. How you do it? Let's see. Because we're in England now. We're not in America.
We don't have fish and chips in Texas.
I don't care. Order fish and chips. Let's see.
May I please have some fish and chips, pretty please, with sugar on top?
No. You don't say it like that.
Oh.
You need to know, like, what do you want with it? Do you want, curry sauce? Do you want some peas, gravy?
Oh, vinegar. Do you put vinegar on it?
Salt and vinegar.
Salt and vinegar.
You need that gravy if you're from where I'm from.
I forgot. Yeah.
And earlier, before the camera came on us, you were talking about battered sausage. You were obsessed with the battered sausage. What's the story with that?
I'm confused. I don't remember this conversation.
And then you put some batter around it, deep
fry
it.
It's nice. Is it good? You can have that with it?
Oh, yeah, you can.
Now, can you two stop chatting? Can we get some fish and chips in?
Battered sausage.
Okay.
Right, smushy peas, curry sauce, gravy, what are we going with?
Curry, no squishy peas. That's
curry sauce, right, okay.
Curry sauce.
Let's get that one served up. I think we need a bread cake or a, what do you call it over your way?
Tea cake.
A tea cake, a bap, a balm.
What do you call it, Colin? Where you come from?
No idea what you're talking about.
We'll have a buttered tea cake with that, please.
Yeah. Oh, what? They haven't got them right.
Sorry.
Okay, let's take these with us. Colin, you grab hold of those. In fact, Hodge, you grab hold of them, because once you've had your fish and chips, obviously, the next challenge for you, Colin, here he is. He's an absolute heathen, isn't he? Right, so what we need you to do, though, to wash it down, of course, Colin, is make us a cup of tea. So, we've got lined up in the pie shop a cup of tea from the urn. Can you rack one up for me, please?
So, what do I never made a cup of tea in my life. Do I just put the water in here?
Well, I don't know. Some people go for milk first. If Guy Martin was here,
wait,
he would
be... This is a trick question. This is a trick question, isn't it? How about we do...
All right, okay. He's going for the milk first. How do you feel about milk first on this one?
It's wrong, isn't it?
Oh, I can hear a few people aren't liking that one, are they? I'll tell you what, Colin, don't go for the milk first. There's people not fancying that.
I'm not happy with the milk first.
Yeah. Okay, and if you're making proper builder's tea, you need about 7 sugars in there.
You gotta let it sit though for a while, right?
Yeah, probably need to let it mash for a while as well. Right, I don't think we're gonna have time to have this cup of tea in there, but I think I'm gonna stick here with these chips in curry sauce. Colin, hurry up! Come on, he's not passing these tests, is he?
He really isn't passing the tests, not at all. But I like the way that Colin's really competitive about it and he's trying to do it all properly. I think the guys think you shouldn't put milk in first, right? We don't agree with Guy Martin here, do we? No, we don't. Not for that, anyway. It's such a big weekend here at Silverstone, and on a Thursday, it's always called the Day of Champions. Were you there at the Day of Champions? Where the guys raise money for Two Wheels for Life. It's a huge day. The riders come out and auction all their kits. So we decided to set up a camp behind that stage. We put a little camper van out just to have a different kind of chat with the riders. It's amazing what a plate of cupcakes can do. Hi, Jack. How are you? Do you want one of my muffins?
Yes, please.
He's not very sure, eh?
Get in! I've not offered you a cake yet. Oh, look, it's mayhem. I knew this was going to happen.
It's a special race because it's a special track.
I love this track. A lot of riders love this track. Here, when you have a fan, it's a real fan. Sometimes I would like to live in England to feel that, you know. But then, just for that, because the weather and everything, I prefer to be in south of France.
With the weather, actually, it's quite interesting because sometimes it's really changing so quick.
In the dry, I've never been so fast, even if I like a lot the track. Maybe because I enjoy so much to ride here that I have to ride slower than anywhere for enjoy the track. But this time...
Not really the aim, though, is it?
No.
Which one do you want, John? I like the flake. No, I like the flake. Get the flake. Take the flake one.
You can have one each. Yeah.
I would love to eat all of three, but I prefer not.
Well, it is a race weekend, so we'll let you off. Just remind me, the red pants, blue pants, Saturday or Sunday?
Blue pants Friday, Saturday, red pants Sunday, full race attack.
2 days in the same pants?
No, I mean I have more pants. Of course, I have one-on-one. Yeah, no. I don't repeat the pants.
I don't want to forget. Hello, my puppy.
Frankie, that hair I'm noticing. How long does it take to get it in the helmet these days?
Yeah, it's quite challenging also this thing. But yeah, I forget many times to go to the coiffeur.
Next year, any plans?
We go fishing, mate.
Yeah, I go fishing, you go racing.
Jorge, is Mark the nearest rival to you guys, do you think?
Will be Mark, you think?
Yeah, I'm asking you. What do you think?
He's always there.
It's great to come here, and all the crowd, of course, is fantastic. A lot of people, a lot of love.
Every time you go around, it's almost like a big Mexican wave. They're all standing and cheering every single lap, and obviously we're trying not to look, we're trying to be focused, but to have that buzz at the side of the track is really something special, and it gives you that little bit more confidence and a bit more determination to push even harder.
This weekend I'll do everything I can to do a good job, and yeah, thank you for supporting us.
And is it fish and chips tonight, fellas, for dinner?
I will, he won't. He's always on a diet. I'm over it.
Great stuff, lovely to hear the boys like. Our crowd is growing here at Woodlands campsite. We are going to take a short break. Before we do, I'd like to introduce one of our other guests. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long time, but I can introduce James Toslin. He's back in a pair of leathers. We'll see you after this break.
Look at this, the menacing Ducatis trying to home in on the Repsol Honda out front of the minute. Lorenzo up towards turn one. We know he's good on the brakes. Oh, now we've got a race. Oh, that's tripped Dobby right up. Look at the speed of the Honda.
Incredible,
it's as fast, if not faster. He nearly hits
This
Lorenzo.
is going to be tight.
He's going for it anyway. Wow. This is a dogfight. OK, Jorge, what you got, says Marc Marquez. Here we go again. Look at this. Unbelievable. Jorge just does it almost at will. There's a mistake from Lorenzo, and that doesn't take an invitation card, does it, for Marc Marquez? There he goes. Here's Jorge straight back at him. Oh, that's Marquez. On Marquez, almost.
Here we
Is
go.
he on the way back? Here's Marc up the inside. Wow, tight or what?
Block pass.
Yeah, blocked him. Yeah, that was on purpose.
He even looked at him, didn't he?
That was on purpose. Last lap. It's all about whether the Ducati and the Honda side by side, they almost touch down the front straight. 190 odd mile an hour into turn one. Jorge nails it. You know that Marc Marquez this close is going to have a go at it. He can't. Jorge is perfect. Dive bomb. It is. Straight up the inside. He'll run him out wide. No, he didn't. He let Jorge off. I can't believe I saw that. We're almost there. We're almost there. This is it. Jorge Lorenzo surely is going to win the Austria Grand Prix from Marc Marquez. Marc Marquez is thwarted again. It's still not a track he's won on. Jorge Lorenzo is back.
That's nice to see.
Really nice to see.
Respect.
Oh, he's going down. Let's have a bit of surfing. Nakashima surfs the Honda into the turn. Oh, what a shot. What a shot. Well, that deserves an award all on its own. That's terrible. The bike went in with him. He held on to that too long. get off that fairly quickly.
Well done, good lad.
Hello and a very warm welcome back to, in case you missed it, live from the Woodlands campsite here at Silverstone. And just before the break, this man walked in his leather. What singing? Where's your clipboard? Yeah, you can have mine.
We're on telly. We're on telly. Shush.
James,
give me my clipboard back, Suzi. Go on.
You're lost without it anyway, aren't you?
Lorenzo did a 24.3 on it.
James, why are you in leathers?
Silverstone, isn't it? Thought I'd dress for the occasion.
Well, you missed it so much you thought you walked around in Paris. You've been out on track, haven't you?
7 years. I've not been in some leathers. And Michael, you could tell, couldn't you? It took me 2 hours to get in them earlier.
It'll take you 2 hours to get out of them as well.
Yeah. But Triumph gave me a call to see if I would test their new Moto2 bike for next year. And I've just done 3 laps in the absolute pouring rain. So to get back on a bike again after 7 years in these conditions has not been ideal, but really exciting. The bike, incredible.
Tell us about it then.
Yeah, it's obviously since 2011 that Moto2 kind of come here with the Honda 600 engine. Triumph have just signed the deal for next year with a 765 engine compared to the 600 Honda. So the acceleration is going to be better. I think it's about 7 or 8 brake horsepower more than the Honda. The Magneto Morelli electronics is going to be on it as well. So that's going to give the riders a bit of more to kind of get used to, because that's what they do have on the MotoGP bikes. So it's going to be good for the young riders to get used to that.
But what did it feel like to be back on a bike?
Slow. I was slow. I was fast past the pits where everybody was watching. I know that. Standard. But it was nice to be back on. Unfortunately, the wrist is so painful. After 2 laps, it feels like a... I know.
Hang on, didn't Jorge Martin get on the podium last time out with a broken arm? What's up with you?
You got some cheat, this lot. No, it was fun.
Well, we're looking at that footage over the weekend, though, won't we?
It was very fun, and the riders are going to love it, because it's great to have a British manufacturer, isn't it? In
Absolutely.
top races, so.
No, it's really good. And I've heard that there's a British manufacturer down at the fun fair on the Dodgems, and there's a very special grid walk for you now.
Yeah, and right at the back of the grid are these 2 reprobates. We'll talk to them in a second, and I know I've done some grid walks over the years, but this one's special because there's only one aim in this race, and that's get those 2 over there. Right, what's your name? Xander, and are you looking forward to racing here with Neil and Colin?
Yeah.
Yeah? You know what the #1 rule is?
No.
Hit them as hard as possible, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, you ready for that? Right, we've got these 2 lovely girls down here as well. What are your names?
Leah, Ruby.
Oh, Ruby and Leah, right, okay. You see those 2 ugly men over there, right? Okay, we want you to drive really fast at them and avoid them at all costs. Is that okay?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Leah's up for it. I like this. You want to watch Leah? I reckon she's one to watch over there, okay? That's game face on. Right, okay. What are your names?
Kissy.
Nice to meet you. Paul. And who's driving?
Both of us.
Both of you driving, okay. And you know the aim, don't you?
Who?
The aim of the race down here. It's to take them out of it. That's the main thing, all right? That's what we want to see. Right. As always, on a grid walk, we've got some Nicky Hayden fan. That's what I love to see with the Bradley Smith jacket. And that's what we do like to see. That's what are your names?
Sorry, we don't talk on the grid.
Snail. Here, look at that! It's just like I'm Neil. I'm not Neil Hodgson, you know. It's me. Oh, game face, proper game face. But that happens at every single grid walk, doesn't it? Right at the back of the grid, we have these 2 chumps. How are we doing, fellas? You all right? You ready to go?
Well, not now. After you've wound everybody up, we're in trouble here, Colin, aren't we?
I kind of feel like we're on a date. You got your arm around me and stuff.
That is very cosy. We better get off here because they're about to stick it on.
We're about to get beaten up.
Yeah, and I think if we bring our sound man off as well. Are you ready to get going? Are you all ready to get them? Here we go!
Oh, no!
straight away. Look at them. I mean, they've got 10 cars coming in all the way. Look at that. I mean, that shows how much they are loved by the public. Absolute chaos all the way. The game face didn't work too well, did it, for our KTM fans? He's running him out wide. Marquez could have done with some of that last week, couldn't he, as well?
Better move.
As you can see, down here, Suzi, all the fun of the fair. And Leah's going to get them. They've got them.
Excellent. Let's just hope that doesn't happen this weekend at Silverstone, but great to see those guys getting bumped. I hope Neil wasn't actually driving under the influence.
Under the influence
of a pint of real ale. Yeah. He actually drank a pint earlier.
So they didn't invite Marcus.
Yeah, no, good stuff. But guys, let's just have a chat about the championship, because MotoGP is really in a purple patch, a sweet spot. I mean, how amazing is the championship this year? And coming to Silverstone, what are you expecting here?
We are blessed. It's an absolute golden era. The top level guys, Marc Marquez, Valentino Rossi, Maverick Vinales, Andrea Dovizioso, Jorge Lorenzo, just you can list so many guys that can be competitive week in, week out. They put on such a show. How Marc takes that bike to the limit. Every session, you know, he doesn't care if he throws it on the ground. It's just awesome to watch, and we're loving it.
Yeah, it really is. It's been spectacular racing. But, James, the Yamahas are back this weekend as well, aren't they? We know they've had all sorts of problems. So why does this track suit them better and we're not seeing the issues that they've had recently?
You can get it on the fat part of the tyre pretty quick around here and just use the acceleration, and the cooler temperature and now the resurface with a bit more grip, it can use the horsepower that it's got within your engine. The combination with the electronics and the horsepower, the torque curve, the electronics obviously hasn't been able to cope with it, but here the nature of the corners allows you to not worry about, you're not on the edge of the tyre too much, you're in and up and you can use it.
So you're not getting the old electronics kicking with traction control, that kind of thing. But who if I asked you now who's going to win this weekend, what would you say?
Well, I'm going to go with Cal, yeah. And actually, I'd love to see it happen, to have a home winner, but Cal's pace here last year was impressive. He was fourth in the mix. He's got a better bike this year. He's already won this year. And he just seems to be finding that sweet spot the last couple of rounds. I think he can really dig deep on Sunday. We've seen him do it here as a rookie in World Superbike, doing a double win. What an atmosphere it would be here on Sunday if he pulls it off.
Well, he would be the biggest star here at Silverstone, wouldn't he? If he could pull off, it'd be the first time a Brit had won in the Premier Class at the British Grand Prix since it's been on the mainland. He was also the star of the press conference on Thursday, because the press conference had a very special guest. They went up to the International Space Station and spoke to Drew Fustel, and he's going to be the quickest man around here, though, this weekend, because he goes at 17,500 miles an hour.
Hey, Drew. Nice to speak to you again. Obviously, I know you're a big fan of MotoGP, and do you know what every single cable there does? And can you talk us through them all?
Well, Cal, you probably imagined that would take a long time, but hey, I do want to say hi to you. You know I'm a big fan of you and the team and Lucio, and I appreciate the time that we spent together chatting, and I think the season's going well. But great question, Cal. I guess you could say that on the space station we know a little about a lot instead of maybe a lot about a little. But we do pretty well in operating up here, and what we don't know, the ground teams do a great job of leading us through procedures to keep us on the right track, and most importantly, not make any mistakes up here.
Out of this world. It's really special to see him up there, and he's such a big bike fan, isn't he?
Yeah, former motocross rider himself, so great to see that, you know, those pictures in front of the MotoGP family. It's awesome.
Yeah, it really is.
You haven't got a clue about them cables, has he?
No.
Bit of a worry.
I like that.
No clue at all.
A little about a lot's always good.
No idea.
I think, though, he's probably got somewhere all the details on a clipboard. He's fine up there, don't you worry about that. He's taking a leaf out of your book. Here they go again. And we're going to take a short break now. We'll be back with you in a few minutes' time as we're serenaded by the Woodlands campsite here at Silverstone.
I am only 25 and I do get frustrated, and I'm very passionate. Putting that aside, you know, I cannot look to the past. It's all history. We went to Misano. It was a really good test. We had a new engine to test. Something that I was asking for a long time, which I've been waiting, and finally I could test it and see the result. I was very happy with it. Every time I put this engine parts in that help me, I make a good step, and that's what I need. It takes me from being over the limit to finish where I don't want to be, to enjoying to ride the bike and being able to do things with the bike that my talent lets me do. So that's what I look forward to the most, is to see, compared with the other guys on track, and to see. I mean, I had the engine for half a day in Misano. It's not a lot, but it was better, and I was smiling, I was happy again on the bike, and that's what I want this weekend.
So does the British Grand Prix come at a good time for you?
Yes and no. I mean, to have the parts now is nice, you know, but the thing for me coming home is a good time, because it's been hard for me. Now you see all the fans and how much love I've got from the fans, how much support. That means so much to me, and especially when you're having a hard time, it really shows how much you've given in the past and that they're loyal, and that means a lot. So I'm happy to be here now, and I want to put on the best show possible on the weekend.
Any closer to knowing your future?
No, it's been a bit of a yo-yo effect, you know. It's like, okay, got this and this and this. Nope, you don't have it. Okay, let's go for this option, and then you get a phone call and you got other options. So I've been really like, yeah, no, this, that, and I'm no further. I'm kind of just spinning laps in the sand at the moment, and I need to find a direction and go for it.
Silverstone, your home Grand Prix. I mean, you've won the British Grand Prix. I'm so jealous. It was my dream to win a British Grand Prix back in 2015. That must give you a lot more confidence coming here.
Yeah, of course, but then you can say that, but in 2015 I won at 5 other different tracks that we've been to this year, and I didn't win this year. So, no, of course, it's an amazing feeling coming racing in front of your home crowd. It's a track.
But does it help? Because the support, I've seen you've been mobbed today. Wherever you go, you get mobbed. Do you take energy from that?
Yeah, you do. You know, especially with my results, you know, you start to feel like you lost all your fans. But then when you get back here, you know, it takes you an hour to walk 100 meters, which is good. No, but I do love racing here. Last year I forgot the feeling because obviously I was sat on the sofa watching on TV. So no, it's good to be back this year.
Mark Marquez, watch this from this angle. Look how long that's gone for. That's got to be the longest front end slide I've ever seen.
The guy's remarkable.
Do you know the real remarkable thing is that these bikes are not light, and as it gets slower and slower and fell over on its side, he almost picks it up on his leg. The strength he must have. Can you open your legs with that kind of strength? I can't.
No. He's look right here. It should be on the ground, flat on the ground. He's just digging his knee in, trying to get some weight on that front.
Look where the knee slider's bent to. Look. Oh. But right now, he's just trying to key in a bit of throttle as well, trying to get the back end where he wants it.
To pick it up.
To pick it back up again.
Well, you don't want that carbon fibre swinging arm rubbing on the ground, do you, for reasons JT was explaining earlier?
I want to know if they manufactured something in his suit, because right now you'd be going through the leather and through the pad. There's got to be something there.
He's got his elbow on the ground. That's laying rubber. His knee slider, I've been told that they're contemplating making a knee slider that goes right the way round. It's got a... They are working on something different for him because he picks the bike up so often.
Look at the rubber from the rear tyre.
Pretty impressive.
Welcome back to the final part of our live, in case you missed it, from Woodlands campsite here at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. They all want me to do a Johan Zarco backflip off the stage, but that ain't happening. Colin's joined us back on stage here with Michael and with JT, who's still zipped up in those leathers. Colin, I'm a bit worried about your Britishness. Your final lesson, you need to repeat after me. Hello, may I have a cup of tea, please?
Hello, may I have a cup of tea, please? Okay, hello, may I have a cup of tea, please?
That's it. Everybody turns into Dick Van Dyke.
I know.
Like to be British.
Like, Mrs. Doubtfire is one of my favourite movies. I still can't get it.
Listen, we've got qualifying tomorrow. We've got a great weekend of racing ahead. What are you expecting to see, and how important is pole around here anyway?
Well, it's actually an old-school racetrack, so you always get a good battle. So pole position isn't so important. You've got so many passing spots down the end of the hangar straight into Stowe. So pole will be nice, and I could see Dovey taking it. He seemed to have really good, consistent pace today, but in the race, I don't think anyone's getting away. You'll have Dovey, Jorge, Cal, and both Yamahas, I think both Maverick and Valentino looking strong for race pace.
Yeah, that's the brilliant thing, isn't it, about what we've seen so far? We've got one of maybe 6 guys that can win here this weekend. How do you see it working out tomorrow for Colin?
I'm going Lorenzo. Sorry, Lorenzo's on a high. Hey, come on. We got a bunch of haters in the house. What's going on? No, he's on a high. He didn't quite find it today, but I think the high that he's on, it's going to carry over. We're going to see it tomorrow.
The thing with Lorenzo is we know how hot his start is.
Yeah, well, I've got a bit of work to do at Abbey and Stowe on those couple of laps. But
You better start now if you're going to join in.
I can just brush up them 2 corners. I think I've got a chance.
But what are your thoughts on tomorrow for qualifying?
Well, it's just the weather.
In terms of the weather,
all the riders were sticking the knife right in, weren't they, in Austria, saying, yeah, it's great track, but the weather. Yeah, great track, but the weather. And I thought, well, we've had a great summer, and then typically bank holiday weekend, or last week, we get the rain. But just honestly, joking aside, it's not puddling and it's not got the rivers that it had on the inside of the track that it used to have with the old surface. So even if it is, because if it rains hard here, there's a real chance of you aborting doing anything on the track. But I think with the resurface, they've done a great job, and I think it's draining much better. So even if it is raining or not, but who knows? I mean, the Yamahas are back on it, aren't they? So, you know, if I say Valentino Rossi, I'm sure I get a cheer.
Ooh, Valentino!
The problem is Cal doesn't seem overly confident in the wet this year. He said in the interview that he's not feeling it in the rain this year, and he usually is pretty good in the rain. So I don't know what that is, but who knows? At Silverstone, he's going to give it a bit extra, isn't he? So.
Well, he's been saying that since the last race, that he really, really wants to win it. And today, you know, he's right up there, 5,000th of a second off Dobby. I mean, it doesn't really get much better than that. You could just be 5,000ths quicker, I guess, really. That's it, isn't it? Let's see if we can do that tomorrow. Let's heat up a little bit now with some red hot chili peppers.
Hodgie's causing chaos down here, I tell you, because when we finished here on the Woodlands campsite, there's all sorts of events going on throughout the weekend. Chili Dave has joined us. Thank you very much for joining us, Chili Dave. And there is a chili eating competition, and the reigning champion is here. Peter, give him a round of applause for last year. He's defending his title. So a round of applause for the champ.
Thank you.
And these are the offending objects that are going to cause some damage around here. I wonder if you've got any willing candidates anywhere near us.
Well, looking behind these gentlemen here.
So before you came to us just then, Hodgie was a little bit naughty, and a couple of the lads in the crowd fancied a little bite,
They
didn't
might
they?
have had a drink, and they were saying that they didn't look that hot, so I might have tempted them to try it. And, yeah, well, I tell you what, it don't look good over there.
It doesn't. It's not looking too pretty.
These boys have had better days.
Right, Dave, I've got to ask you about this chili eating competition, because there are some chilies that pack some serious punch here, aren't there?
Yeah, I mean, we've got everything here from one of the mildest chilies in the world, and we've actually got the world's hottest chili as well.
Really? What's that called?
That's called the Carolina Reaper.
Which one's that? Is that
the
there?
Carolina Reaper is here.
Oh,
so
dear. Oh, God.
An absolute evil beast, you know what I mean? So this rates in at like 1.6 million Scoville heat units, and it can be up to 2.2 million.
Right, and in terms of the competition, is that what people are going to be eating?
Yeah, basically what we do is we, as Peter knows, is we start off at a really, really mild chili. Each round gets hotter and hotter and hotter.
Ah, I like it.
And then basically we've got a nice pint of cool, full-fat milk in front of them. If they go for it, they're out.
OK, so that's what we're seeing now. There's Peter, there he is, doing business. But the pint of milk, if you go for the milk, that's you're done.
Yeah, that's it, you're done.
And is it who eats them quickest?
No, what we do is we don't do a speed round, but what happens is they just eat it, show the stalk clean, and then we go on to the next round.
Pete, what's the tactics?
I would say don't think about what you're doing. Just get it in there, get it down.
Right, OK, so we've got some rating up to 1.6 million.
Yep.
Have we got one that my lovely model friend here alongside can try?
Is there any more beer?
What do you win? This is my side, all right?
What do you win? What's the trophy? What's the award?
For Silverstone Woodlands, they win a free camping for next year, either the F1 Grand Prix or the MotoGP for a family.
OK, so you can win that, Hodgie? Come on, can we not have a little bit nibble? A little nibble, just for me.
OK, go on. Yeah,
what we'll do is we'll give you something mild first.
I don't trust you.
Trust me.
I don't.
I'm an ex-medic.
Go on then.
He's a paramedic, I've been told as well. So that that works.
Paramedic, I was in the army. But right, we're going to give you something mild. So everybody knows this. This is called the KN. So this is around about 30,000 Scoville heat units.
Yeah.
So it's about what 10 times hotter than a jalapeno.
Yeah.
So
right.
just have a bite
Go
of that.
on, Hodgie, give it a go.
I would do. Before we came on air, you said, Gav, you wanted to try it. So
yeah. I'll give it a go. We'll give it a go. Right, this could be the last you see of us all weekend. Cheers, and we've loved it down here. Great atmosphere.
No, don't leave them. We need to know who's going to burn them. I tell you what, just Keep the camera there. We'll come back to them in a minute just to make sure they don't melt down. Guys, it's been extraordinary, but mainly because of you guys. Right? The most special thing about the British Grand Prix, apart from the brilliant track itself, has to be the fans, doesn't it?
It's unreal. As we've seen Cal and Sam and everyone speak about it this weekend, the atmosphere and the buzz they get from that. So whenever they come around, the crowd are waving, and it just lifts your spirit and makes you believe you can do that little bit more. So it's fantastic, and the boys are loving it.
Yeah, there's plenty to look forward to this weekend, isn't there, JT?
Oh, are we having a song later? Why not? I might meet you in the tent for a beer then, eh?
I'm coming.
And what's happening with you? Are you making a cup of tea for everyone?
I guess tea and, I don't know, some sausages that Neil was talking about. I've never even heard of this stuff, but it looks like we're eating and drinking.
See, you've learned something about battered sausages is what they were talking about.
It sounds really disgusting.
Yeah, I know. Don't think about it too hard. I think
okay.
that's probably better.
It is when you're washing it down with a battered Mars bar. If I put it.
We're a little bit too south, I think, of the UK. We'll teach you about that next time on, all right?
All right.
But for now, we're going to tell you a little bit about what's going to happen this weekend because, of course, we are live on BT Sport, on BT Sport 2 for every single lap. Qualifying tomorrow starts from midday. All the race day action, the warm-ups from 8:45 in the morning, and a very special home checkered flag for you at 3:30. Shall we just nip back to the boys and see if they can still... Are the boys around or have they melted down? Can we see them? OK, well, I'll tell you what, they're probably... Do you have to join us tomorrow to see if they survived the chilies? OK. Oh, hang on, here they are. Oh, yes, let's send them up in the bungee. Let's do that. Do you know what? It's amazing here. I can see through the screen the sun is setting. We've actually got some sun, finally. Strap them in and let's get them up there. We've got about 10 seconds to go. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on In Case You Missed It, live from Woodlands campsite. It's been extraordinary. Here they go in 3, 2, 1. Not yet. They're not going yet. This is going to be an absolutely wonderful weekend here at Silverstone, so make sure you join us for the British Grand Prix. And it looks like the boys have survived the chili peppers. A big thank you to all of our guys here. Give us a wave. And they're off. See you tomorrow.